in 2012, an opportunity came up right next door to where I was currently working for us to potentially buy into some land. And that was really the beginning for what now has grown to be a business that provides a great quality of life for myself and Amy and our two boys, Jack and Mitchell. And it's been a culmination of relationships, family support, mentoring, education, that's all led to where we are today. We knew we had to be profitable or we weren't going to make it, so I guess all of our decisions in relation to not just the enterprises we ran, the way we managed our farm, we knew we had to put longevity into the whole thing. We had to look after our asset, or otherwise it wouldn't look after us. So through education we embarked on, we've learnt techniques that allow us to maximise our profitability. That's been done through predominantly two enterprises, trading, sheep trading, and now what is our core, the Speckle Park breeding business, JAD Speckle Park. A common question we get asked is, why Speckle Park? And the best way to answer that, I guess, is over the years of trading cattle, we did trade quite a few speckle infused females, and there was something a little bit different about the cattle we observed. They were extremely good doing cattle.
We've run most breeds of cattle here in our time on Greenvale and Coolah, and just even before we started our stud, you know, we were just so impressed with this breed and their doing ability and just really hitting those key performance targets and profit traits in a beef breeding operation.
In the Australian beef climate, we need an animal that is very efficient in the way they convert, be it on grass or in a feedlot. We wanted a product that was saleable at any stage through the production cycle. And we felt that Speckles really fitted that. They also have an extremely high yielding carcass and a softness of carcass which is unique with high yielding animals. So they're very, very high in IMF, and that combined with their essentially their doability, with the things that got us over the line.
We've really focused on developing a herd, a base of females that's genetically diverse, and we've gone to different parts of Canada to really source diverse genetics to what was already in Australia, essentially to formulate our base, but it's also had a dual effect of us being able to share those new genetics with our clients.
And meeting the breeders where the cattle originated from, we had the confidence that we thought they really had a place over here. So that led to essentially the birth of JAD Speckle Park in 2016.
The reality is the Speckle Park breed is very unique in appearance, and we love getting out there with the kids. And Mitchell, our youngest, he can identify Moya or Eileen. He doesn't need to read ear tags, he can do it just via their coat pattern, and he loves, you know, going into a herd and spotting them, and they love coming over and checking out the calves. And it's good for the calves too, of course, to have the little kids getting around, because children don't know what quiet means. And it's good for the cattle, and it's good for us as a family to be able to do things together as a family, whether that be yard work or just going for a drive around the cattle.
In our time in business for ourselves, we knew we needed to extract every dollar out of the farm that we could without depleting the asset. So, you know, we certainly today use a lot more inputs than we have previously, and that be it, we do fertilise our country, we do grow rotational cropping, that's, predominantly grazing base crops for lambs. We grow quite a bit of 970 canola now, which is quite a new thing for us, and also cereal crops, with a long-term goal of sowing down to perennial pastures. So over time that probably will reduce in its overall area, but it has been very lucrative for us. In an ideal world, we like to minimise the amount of inputs in the system, but we're not cost focused, and we feel that if an input's going to give us a dollar return on the investment, we need to consider it. And I think we have a growing world population that has to be fed, and that requires us to maximise not just the water use efficiency on our farm, but to maximise the amount of product that we can grow off a given piece of country, and particularly our country being high valued country, it is a pretty safe environment. When we do get the water and we get the right soil temperatures and climate, we do need to maximise what we can turn off it. Agriculture's an incredible place to raise a family, and I think going forward with innovation technology, I can see that it does have some massive challenges. There's no doubt about that, but right throughout the system, be it animals, plants, soils, it certainly has come a long way in my lifetime, and I think that its change is coming quicker than ever at present.
We're very well aware that the decisions we make today in managing our land asset essentially could be decisions that impact our children if they so choose to take over the farm. And we're open to that if that's something they want to do. And similarly, if they don't, then that's perfectly okay too. But we definitely take a very long-term view with our decision making, and we've cut our property up with wire and water to about 8.5 hectare paddocks so that we can really manage it as best as we possibly can with density grazing and rest, and put an awful lot of focus on that to try and to ultimately take the land asset to a better place year on year.